there, friends. I'm Lisa Tony with GirlTribe Nation, and I want to welcome you to the Raising Amazing Tween Girls podcast and show. I'm so glad that you're joining me today for our Love Language series. Oh yes, we are talking about all things love and how to love our girls well. Now, you've probably heard of the 5 love languages, right? Dr. Gary Chapman authored this book years ago, and it is still going strong. It talks about 5 different love languages that we just most naturally lean into with our personality to fill our love tanks. And when our love tanks are filled, then we feel more secure, we feel more known, and it's a whole lot easier for us to navigate life. So we are talking about each love language, one each week. And so I want to invite you to join with us for this whole series. If we're not talking about your daughter's love language today, don't worry. There's some helpful tips and tricks for you to utilize this particular strategy with your own daughter, even if it's not her primary love language, because it's good for us all to use all of them all the time as moms. It's a great way to layer the love around our girls so that we can help them build solid identities and secure senses of their self so that they don't go looking for all love in all the wrong places, right? I mean, we all have seen those girls, and it breaks our heart, that are so desperate for love that they'll turn to the internet, they'll turn to social media, they'll turn to men, they'll turn to poor choices. And we really want to make sure that our girls don't need to do that. If they feel so loved and secured at home and that we're filling those love tanks, they're going to be empowered to make great decisions. They're going to feel smart, they're going to feel brave, they're going to feel healthy, and they're going to live with a whole lot more happy in their life, which is our whole goal here at GirlTribe Nation. Now, Dr. Gary Chapman says love is a choice that you make every day. And that's true, isn't it? We have to choose to show love every day. Now, we may feel deep in our hearts that we love our girls more than anything else on this planet, but for them to feel it, they need to see it, they need to hear it, they need to know it. And when they do that, then we are in for more peace in our homes, we're in for better listeners, fewer arguments with our girls, and a stronger, healthier mom-daughter relationships, right? And I know we all need that as our daughters are beginning this independence transition and starting to get a little frustrated with us. We need to have those strong, healthy relationships, a good, solid foundation laid so that they know they trust us and they know that we have their best interests at heart. Okay, so now, if you don't know what your daughter's love language is, you can head on over to girltribenation.com/5 love languages. And I've got an access to a quiz that you can take to find out what your love language is and also your daughter's. But there's also some things that you can be doing just on a regular basis to kind of assess what your daughter's love language is. One, you can ask her. You can ask her right out what helps her to feel loved the most. And so I like to kind of pose this in like scenarios, like if you had to choose, and then I give her 5 different things, and I think of things that she would kind of connect with in each of those different love languages, and see which one she would pick. Sometimes they surprise you. Now, it's also fun to just try these out, to like do a little test behind the scenes, a little mama test behind the scenes, and figure out a way to start showing love in each of these 5 different ways, and then kind of track the reaction that you get. See how she's reacting to them. Now, we're not necessarily making her a big science experiment, but it is just a good strategy. It's a parenting strategy to know how to learn to study your daughter, be a student of your kids, and know how to best connect with them. Now, sometimes I also use this as like scenarios with family members or friends and use the 5 love languages and see which one she would connect with or which one she would like to do. So whichever one she leans into more sometimes is a good clue of which way she would feel most loved. And then also just kind of watch them. How do they show love to you? Because often it is easiest for us to show love to others in the way that we want to receive love. So this is why it's a bit of a learning curve to be able to give love in a way that isn't natural for you to necessarily receive love. Okay, now it's also good to know that people usually have one primary love language and then a secondary love language. So don't be surprised if you discover characteristics from 2 or more categories in our love language series that your daughter really connects with. That's okay, that's really normal. Now today we are doing physical touch. Now, the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, acts of service, and quality time. So this week we are doing physical touch. So jump on back to previous episodes if you want to catch one of the other love languages. Now, kids who have physical touch as their primary love language, they really love hugs and kisses and cuddling. And they also could be the kids that kind of love physical games. They might like to just love that activity. But kids that love physical touch, they love to be near you. They love to touch you. They might like to hold your hand or your arm. Now, I have to say, this is the hardest one for me. It's the lowest on my love language radar. And so I really have to be intentional and think about these areas because they don't come easy for me. Now, one of my best friends, she has this love language. And she's someone who just is natural. She loves to hug or be near me or put her hand on me when she communicates. And so it's good. I learned from her how to do this well. Now, if your tween girl fits in this category, here's some ways that you can love on them and make them feel happy. Now, one of the biggest and easiest is to offer hugs and kisses whenever your tween wants a hug or comes near you. When she's standing near you, just wrap that arm around her and give her a little hug and a kiss. That is a great way for her to feel affirmed and loved on. Another really fun idea for those kiddos who love physical touch, you can create a special secret handshake. Now, you'll just have to see kind of the age of your tween if she's into this or not. Maybe if she's on the younger end of the tween spectrum, 8, 9, 10, she might still be into this. But it can be really fun to... Did you ever learn those as a kid? Figure out a secret handshake, and that can be a fun way when you see her to connect with her in a way that's maybe not as intense as a hug and a kiss. Another really fun way is to never lose the opportunity for a good old snuggle on the couch. And especially if you see them reading or watching a movie together, just snuggle up next to them. Maybe share a blanket together and snuggle close. That's something that is easy to do when they're reading or they're engaged in a movie and they really feel that connection and love. Now, I know sometimes our tweens are starting to feel independent and they don't need to be tucked in at night, but maybe you could turn that strategy into another fun name. Just checking on your pillow, not you, just checking on your pillow to get over there and give her a hug and a kiss and a snuggle at nighttime, or maybe a quick little pillow fight and attack her with a love. Just something in the evening that is going to help her feel that physical touch, that connection before she goes to bed. And then in the morning, you could maybe wake her up with a back rub before she gets out of bed, come over and give her a little snuggle, a hug. That kind of thing to help her wake her up can be a really fun thing. Now, if she likes to have her hair touched, some girls are funny about that, but if she does, stroking her hair or maybe combing her hair with her, I know she's independent and I sure hope she's doing that on her own. But every once in a while, having your hair combed out by someone else feels good. And so that can be another little resource that we can tuck in our tool belts for those girls who love physical touch. Now, one thing that I love to do with my friends that have physical touch as their love language is they might be getting a little old for hand holding. Maybe some of the younger ones on the spectrum, 8, 9, 10 of our tween zone that we're in, you can still hold their hands, but you can always link arms with someone. I love to do that. Just link arms on the walk together. That can be a really fun way to be able to do that. Anything that you can think of to create special hugs or special hand claps for greetings and goodbyes. Your special fist bump or hand clap or whatever you got going can be a really great asset to have a special little connection together as a physical touch way of showing love. Now, I also want to have in our tool belts, and I'm sure you already have this one, is making sure that whenever she's feeling stress or anxiety or even has a headache, to go and give her a back rub or a neck rub. That can be such a great tension release. And just that physical touch is a great way to help soothe out her anxiety and help her to feel loved, help her to feel connected with, and really help her relieve some of the anxiety that she may be feeling. All right, now if she loves sports, then she's going to be probably interested in sports that require some physical touch. That's a great way to get her out there on the field or the court and allow her to engage with people in a little different way of physical touch rather than the back rubs and the hugs and kisses, but just kind of roughing it out there. And that's a great way for them to feel loved and appreciated and get that kind of love that they need, that they're wired for. Now, some of the things that you can do with maybe your families is have a group hug to help connect you as a family. Call for it, group hug, and get everybody in there. And maybe you could add Twister on your list of games for family night. Get everybody all touching and twisted and connected. Or maybe have a group tickle session. Now, some girls don't like this, so you just have to kind of read your girl, but it could be fun. One of the games that I've recently had someone tell me about is a love gun. Have you heard about this? Where you just, love gun, shoot him! And as soon as you shoot your kid with the love gun, then you need to chase them and give them as many hugs and kisses as you can. So this is really fun when you whip out the love gun and attack them with hugs and kisses and love. Okay, well, I hope some of those ideas got your mama juices flowing to be creative and come up with some ways to love on your girls that have physical touch as their primary love language. Hope you even wrote a few down to try out. I want to know how they go. Let me know. We want to fill those love tanks. We want to be mamas that do that with all good things so that they feel comforted and secured and loved, so that we have less arguments and we have better listeners and we have more peace in our homes. All good things. See, if our girls feel loved, they're going to make wiser decisions with their lives because they're not going to be looking for love in all the wrong places. Loving our girls in the way that they need to be loved needs to be our number one job. We need to be a student of our kids. We need to learn who they are and what they need from us. Now, remember, you can always head on over to girltribenation.com/5lovelanguages to gain access to the 5 love languages quiz to find out what your own love language is or that of your girl. Well, thank you so very much for joining me today on the Raising Amazing Tween Girls Show. It was my pleasure to get to spend some time with you. Now, if you found today's episode helpful, I would love if you would text right now a friend that you know it would be helpful to. And maybe leave a comment on our site. That's always really fun for me to see. And please hit that subscribe button for our show. All right, well, everything that we do here at GirlTribe Nation is all about helping girls to feel smart, healthy, brave, and to live with a whole lot more happy in their life. Well, it's been fun spending some time with you, and I can't wait until our time next week. See you then. Bye for now.